dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a Clay County mother is pleading with other parents to educate their kids after her son was burned following a viral challenge. Now, a warning, some may find the images in this story graphic. WYMT's Will Puckett is in the newsroom with more. Will?
Yeah, Patricia Oliver and her son Billy talked to me today from the burn unit in Cincinnati. That is where 11-year-old Billy is right now, recovering from second and third degree burns he suffered as the result of the hot water challenge. He was asleep at a friend's house when his friend threw boiling hot water on him. He says they had never participated in any of the other challenges going around before and did not plan on participating in this one either.
No, we was just playing Fortnite, so I just got up and went to sleep. And I literally just water hit me, and I was trying to get it off as fast as I could, my short, and he was laughing at me while I was trying to get my short off.
Patricia says doctors are optimistic Billy will not need skin grafts. If that holds true, he could get to go home as early as tomorrow. We did reach out to the Clay County Sheriff's Department, and they said they are investigating what happened. In the newsroom, Will Puckett, back to you.
Will, thank you, and he will have more on this tonight at 6. An elderly Owsley County woman was murdered in her home. The county coroner says 82-year-old Olsey Bowling was murdered 1 week ago today. A family member found Bowling's body in her home on Winkler's Branch Road north of Boonville. The sheriff says there was a struggle with a, quote, unwanted visitor. Police are still searching for suspects. We are learning more about the night a Southern Kentucky deputy was shot in the line of duty. A state police detective testified today about the shooting. Mark Dungan of Pulaski County is accused of firing shots at Deputy Tyler Watkins in McCreary County. WYMT's Phil Pendleton was in the courtroom and tells us more about what was said.
A Kentucky State Police detective took the witness stand today in this preliminary hearing. The Commonwealth's attorney asking the questions. Ron Bowling says they are going to take this case very seriously because a law enforcement official, a policeman, a deputy sheriff, was the victim of this alleged violence. The shooting happened as Deputy Tyler Watkins was responding to a welfare or a status check. Police say Dungan opened fire on Watkins as he walked up to the Dodge Neon that he was sitting in. As Dungan took off in his car, he rammed a constable's car head-on, and police say that it caused considerable damage to that cruiser. He then threw the gun out the window as police say he was trying to get away. It was described as a revolver .45 type. After answering questions from the Commonwealth's attorney, Moses was asked by Dungan's attorney if he admitted to the shooting after he was arrested.
He did indicate, that he had made contact with the deputy, and he did admit during that he did shoot at the deputy.
The case is now in the hands of a McCreary County grand jury. A grand jury will be taking up this case next. Dungan, meanwhile, will remain in jail on a $500,000 cash bond. In McCreary County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Police have not said what motive there was for the shooting, only that it happened as Watkins was called to check on a person.
Still starting to feel like Bill Murray and Groundhog Day again, but at least this forecast is pretty nice for repeat and repeat and repeat. Let's take a look again today outside at Stonecrest Golf Course, and you can see just a few little puffy blue clouds there, or puffy clouds in that blue sky there. Lots of sunshine. We're going to continue to see that trend as we head to the next day or so. We see the same scene, similar scene at least outside the WYMT studios in Hazard. Live pinpoint Doppler radar once again. Clear skies and clean sweeps across the board. Temperatures a little warmer today in some spots. 83 Ashland, Hazard, 81 Middlesboro, Williamsburg, 80 Harlan, Somerset at 81, and some upper 70s Jackson and Pikeville there, both at 78. Humidity starting to go up a little bit. Those dew points starting to climb just a hair, so you can see some 60s showing up there. You got to get to 65 to really start to feel it, but we're going to get there pretty quickly. Headlines for today: a calm evening is ahead once again. Not as cool tonight. Warmer weekend ahead as summertime tries to make a return, and rain returns possibly by next week. I'll track all that out for you and tell you about the potential coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Today, Attorney General Andy Beshear took a tour of primary care centers of eastern Kentucky, the Hazard location, with State Representative Angie Hatton. Leading the tour was Barry Martin, CEO of the facility, who stressed the importance of needing physicians who could diagnose those with black lung.
Someone suffering from black lung right now would have to drive to Lexington or Louisville to be diagnosed for a condition they have is wrong. We need to make sure people can get services in their own community and that we can get them healthier. And anybody with a serious condition, we have to make sure we get the maximum amount of services. That's not only the right thing to do as human beings, but it lowers our overall costs.
Beshear says he last saw this facility when it was only a map of what it would look like. Later, he will be in Harlan talking with black jewel miners and will also have a reporter there. A federal grand jury indicted a Whitley County man accused in the death of his pregnant girlfriend. The indictment claims Daniel Nance killed 29-year-old Jerry Johnson to prevent her from telling police about his drug dealing. Court documents say Nance dropped off Johnson at the Corbin Hospital back on March 16th after shooting her. She later died from her wounds. Her baby girl was delivered but died 3 days later. 8 people are charged after a drug complaint in Knox County. Deputies there say when they arrived at a home in Corbin, they found meth pipes, scales, and a gun. Jason Bible, Heather Wagers, Rosanna Rainwater, and Jason Merida are charged with drug trafficking and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. Carrie Gilliam, Marcus Holland, Ashley Hamilton, and Joseph Wagner are charged with drug trafficking. Wagner also had a previous warrant for failing to appear in court. A jogger in Massachusetts is talking after she says a man exposed himself to her and no one helped stop him. Surveillance video shows the scene as a woman jogging chased after a man who she says pulled his pants down, flashed her, and even tried to grab her. The woman, who did not want to give her name, says she tried to hold him while asking others to call police, but no one helped.
People respond, for God's sake. If somebody's saying call the police, everybody's trying to stay away. Don't get involved. My day will be destroyed. 5 minutes later, I couldn't be raped there in the corner. You guys really too busy with your day to just call the police.
The 6'1" ex-Israeli military officer and mother of 2 has no regrets about confronting the man. The suspect ended up getting away, but police have his picture. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Thursday afternoon. The Dow closes down today more than 128 points. Well, while you're out and about in the summer sun today, why not grab a dessert at Dairy Queen? It's all for a good cause today. It is Miracle Treat Day. At least $1 from every Blizzard sold at participating stores will be donated to a Kentucky Children's Hospital. Well, all one Texas man wanted was some KFC and a smoke, so he stole an ambulance and hit the road. He also snagged some Doritos during his joyride. Police have not released a name yet, but say they got a call early this morning about the stolen ambulance. It was sitting outside a psychiatric hospital where the man used to be a patient. The keys were in it, so he hopped in, grabbed something finger-licking good, and then headed for the gas station.
I rolled up on him, opened the door, asking why he had the ambulance. He said he needed a ride. He backed out, put his hands behind him, and I handcuffed him.
That man is now in jail, charged with unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Coming up, the federal government is going to resume capital punishment for the first time in nearly 2 decades.
There are some rain chances on the horizon, but it still might be a few days before they get here. We'll track them out for you in just a few minutes.